Hello, 안녕하세요. Hi, my name is Chantel Blake. I am American. I'm 27 years old, and I studied business management. I'm also about to start my master's degree in education in January. I'm applying to the JEPIC program because I've already taught English in South Korea for 2.5 years. I was with the iEPIC program, and I really enjoyed it. I miss teaching English as a foreign language. As I said, I want to pursue education. I want to start my master's degree next year, and I'm really interested in pursuing this. And now that I'm not doing it anymore, I miss it, so I'd like to return. And that's why I'm applying to the program. I have teaching experience. As I said, I worked for Cheonan Office of Education, so I worked at 2 elementary schools in Cheonan, Salmon Elementary School and Anso Elementary School. It was great. It was a good experience. It was also a very challenging experience, especially being in a smaller city as an African American. It was hard sometimes, but also it was very rewarding. I think after that experience was when I decided that I wanted to pursue education as a career. I was teaching elementary school. I taught grades 3 to 6. I also did after school programs, winter camps, summer camps, as well as other classes as well. I was a main teacher about 70% of the time, and 30% of the time I was a co-teacher with a Korean teacher. My strength as an ESL teacher, I believe, firstly, is the way that I speak. I think that I speak very clearly, and that it's easy for students and other South Koreans to understand what I'm saying because of the way that I speak. Also, I'm very animated, and I do enjoy teaching, so I think that comes out when I'm teaching a class. I am also very prepared. I like to prepare my lessons, and that is one of my strengths. I'm always very prepared. I plan out everything. So those are my strengths as an ESL teacher. My teaching style and my teaching philosophy are a few things. First of all, I believe that you have to study, you have to learn, and sometimes that includes very boring grammar or listening and speaking or listening and reading and writing. They're not always very interesting, but they're necessary. So my teaching style is that you must do the boring, the necessary English learning skills. You have to learn those skills and also integrate it with fun activities. In my classes, I always had an activity, a PowerPoint game, a normal game without PowerPoints, maybe a whiteboard game, or using some type of prop. So that is my thing, integrating what the material that you have to study with interesting activities. Also, another one of my teaching philosophies is, like I said before, being prepared. I planned my lessons, and I was always prepared with games and worksheets and anything that I needed. So that was, I think, instrumental in me being a successful teacher. It was just that I planned and I knew what I was going to do next. I am familiar with lesson planning because, as I said, I was a main teacher at Salmon Elementary School. Not at Anso, but at Salmon I was a main teacher. I did not have a co-teacher most times because the school was very big and it didn't work for us to do co-teachers. So I planned all of my lessons. I used the curriculum, the book, and I supplemented the material in the book with my own activities and own other things that I wanted to do in the classroom. I would motivate the students to learn English by introducing interesting activities, talking about my life, talking about America, and about the experiences that I've had, introducing songs and games and activities. And that's how I would motivate students, not just listening to the little cartoon parts of the lesson and doing the listen and repeats, but actually trying to integrate. And I love to use like props as well. To develop a relationship with the students, I would try to talk to them. I don't know too much Korean, just a little bit, but I would try to talk to them, especially my after-school students. It's a lot easier to build a relationship with those students because I have a little bit more time with them and they're much smaller classes. But just trying to talk to them, just being nice and friendly. Also for the school faculty members, it can be very difficult to build a relationship with faculty members because South Korean teachers, from my experience, do not approach me. They're afraid to use English, maybe embarrassed. So sometimes I felt really bad. Maybe they didn't want to talk to me, but then I realized it was mostly because they are afraid. So I think for me, I will try to do more to approach them first, as well as learning more Korean so that I can have more interactions with them. Lastly, I do understand the cultural differences between Korea and America. As I said, I lived there for 2.5 years, so I know the bowing and basically that you should put your head down, do your work, do what you're told so that you can save face. Because I know for Koreans it's a lot, they're very reserved, and it's all about the hierarchy of individuals because of their position or their class, and how respectful everyone is. So I understand the cultural differences, and it is difficult, as I said, but I've learned ways to deal with it, and it's not all bad. Some of it's really great. Some of it can be challenging, but as I said, in life you will always face challenges, but you have to learn how to get over them. So thank you. That is my self-introduction video. I hope I have introduced myself well to you. I look forward to working with you, and bye-bye.